What's the difference between a camera and our eyes? It's not just technology, it's the way we decide what to capture and what to forget. Our minds are programmed to condense life into symbols, because reality is too complex to hold on to. Is it? How to John Winston flips the narrative. It's like stepping back onto the scene after someone yells, "Cut!" and everyone packs up and leaves. Except this time, one very curious observer stays behind to uncover what was left unsaid. How people actually live, how many people make sense of their worlds. It's easier to spot this magic if you've trained yourself to watch for patterns that never make the final cut in life, or in film. John Wilson's lens doesn't just capture moments, it reveals what happens in the spaces we overlook. If you've ever felt like life moves too fast, or like most important details slip through the cracks, this is for you. Auto John Wilson isn't just a show, it's a lens for seeing the world differently. But if you're expecting quick thrills or easy answers, you might want to just pack up and head out early, just like everyone else. For the rest of you who want to linger, observe, truly see, let's dive into why this show breaks every rule and it still works. When we think about how we observe the world, there's a stark difference between what our eyes capture and what a camera records. You mentioned about that earlier. A camera freezes the depth it can see, but our eyes, they can often trick us into believing we've seen everything we have to, when in reality, we've only graced the surface. This is where How To with John Wilson stands out. It's not just a show, it's a masterclass in cause and effect, paying attention to moments that others would discard. It's the difference between watching a library of social media clips meant to grab your attention, and realizing most of them, when put to the test of time, leave you with a blank page. By focusing on the mundane, Wilson does something remarkable. He reveals the unseen connections in everyday life. The beauty of his work lies in the pacing, the detail, the intimacy with the observation. It teaches us that the magic isn't in the clip, but in the ability to observe beyond the obvious, and capture cause and effect with a genuine curiosity. So, how can we recreate the magic of How To with John Wilson? Let's start reframing how we view media. Instead of seeing it as a library of content that we're scrolling past, think of it as a puzzle, a series of incomplete symbols, also called words, waiting for your interpretation, like this one. But here's the catch. Your interpretation isn't static. Light, context, changes everything. Literally. Think of a painting, where if it's placed in the right place, given different times of the way, different shades of color stand out, shifting its meaning. The same holds true for how we can observe and document the world. To remake that magic, we train ourselves to notice these gaps. It's not about pointing at a camera at the world, it's about light, time, and context to reshape how we think we know. How To with John Wilson firmly places itself on the high immersion and low axis. This isn't just the kind of show that bombards you with fast cuts, dramatic reveals, or high-stakes drama. Instead, it demands you to slowly slow down and immerse yourself in its deliberate pacing and detailed observations. Immersion comes with the ability to notice what others could probably miss. The mundane, the discarded, the forgotten moments that hold a mirror to human life. Every scene feels like an invitation to reflect on what we often overlook in day-to-day lives. It's not about spectacle, it's about subtlety. On the other hand, its low-action nature, its defining strength. By refusing to cut content into bite-sized, high-energy reels, Wilson moves away from real life we're accustomed to on social media. He prioritizes the unfiltered, unedited flow as it happens, giving us patience to see the cause and effect of every detail unfold naturally. The balance of high immersion and low action creates this unique viewing experience, one that feels like a meditation to a modern existence rather than just another direct piece of entertainment. Most of the memorable experiences of the show's essence in this episode is in this episode where John attempts to explore the concept of scaffolding, Or what begins as a seemingly mundane investigation into the structures around buildings morphs into a deeply personal reflection of how humans build emotional scaffolding in their lives. The pacing here is subtle. It starts with wide shots of literal scaffolding, framing these structures as unnoticed players in urban life. But instead of rushing into conclusions, the show meanders. John interviews workers, observes the structure's quirks, and captures the fleeting details like a pigeon perched on a beam. Amidst this, the humor is woven effortlessly. For example, he documents a scaffolding contractor, hilarious, and yet sincere over-enthusiasm about his trade, or captures a passerby's offhand comment that seems unintentional yet profound. This humor isn't loud or forced or scripted. It blends seamlessly, and that's the point of the show. And I get it. It requires self-regulation, and it can feel tough. But that's only because no one's showing you how to make it super fun. My job? That's it. So let's keep watching, keep playing, see where this takes us. Bye. Catch you in the next episode.